So how in the world does a 6-foot, not crazy explosive guard who barely shoots threes change the game more than 90% of players in the NBA? Well, that's what we'll get to in this breakdown. TJ McConnell is an incredible role model for all players, big and smaller guards alike. He's super quick and basketball strong, but the strategies he uses to wreak havoc and even score consistently against guys who are all taller than him are applicable to everyone. Let's break it down. So first off, to set the tone, he's one of the most efficient players out there at all times. He rarely takes any dribbles that don't have a purpose, and that's something I want you guys to pay attention to this whole video. He's either setting something up like this, or attacking and getting into the teeth of the defense. And even then, if he's already done his job and collapsed the defense, there's no need to take an extra dribble, but we'll talk about that later. So now the question is, how does he do this? How does he get by defenders so easily and create so much chaos? First off, he uses his surroundings better than almost anyone in the league. For him, it's a game of, okay, when is my defender moved even slightly out of position because a screen is coming, or even just a player is running by them that they have to look out for. And then he's fantastic with timing that up perfectly. As a result, he's rarely trying to drive on bigger, more athletic, stationary defenders. I mean, he'll even drive across the court and use their teammates as screens to find space. One of his signatures here is a slice middle where he'll bring it up with the inside hand, threaten a bit to play a two-man game here, and then unpredictably explode out to the middle with that right hand. This is a great way to get defenders a step behind, and if there's a nice double gap here, it's over. He's also constantly hunting down momentum advantages, or in other words, anytime he has a few feet in between him and a defender, and then a gap here, that's something he's going to attack, because he knows he plays well getting downhill because of his speed.
The bench to see what their reaction is to that. Yeah. And it was moderate.
Especially with these long push crosses to basically make it a race with his defender now. And if he gets cut off, it's tough for this guy to ramp up enough speed to stay in front, especially after selling out to cut him off. Other times, he's looking to set up these ball screens inside the three-point line, which are tough to guard because if you go under, he's into his bread and butter midi, and if not, any drop coverage will also lead to a midi. Especially if they go under first, having your big flip into a midi ball screen is a great look. Then in terms of his hot spots on the court, one is the baseline, and he's constantly looking to get down there and flip the defense. And when the entire defense flips towards the baseline, these open up. But on top of that, he's also able to creatively back these defenders away from the baseline with his back, which then gives him a window to finish with. He also uses the rim as protection a bunch and be super unpredictable because sometimes he'll Nash dribble it out like this. Others he'll quickly pop up into a finish. It's hard to guess. And notice the way he turns the corner to get baseline too. The lean and the positions he's able to not only hit but control, it's crazy. It's a quality I'd call maneuverability, and it's definitely one of his superpowers. Not only going baseline, but anywhere on the floor where he gets some resistance and is able to get shoulder to the hip, turn the corner, and get downhill without being pushed too much into gap defenders. Other times though, a wide angle can be advantageous, especially if there's no help here and there's some space to work with, because it allows him to once again turn it into a race, which most times he'll win. Now, once he's getting downhill, he's super creative when good defense cuts him off. For example, he loves using these Barkleys, where he'll turn a drive into a post-up and then play from there, which many guards don't know how to defend well. Spins, of course, are one of his go-tos if he gets cut off, and one thing I really like about his spins are, one, how tight they are to the defender, and two, that he often keeps his dribble alive when most would pick it up in this area. So it allows him to get even more separation and throw off their timing. You also notice him getting uphill sometimes, especially when he gets cut off deep closer to the basket, and this definitely tends to throw off defenders because they're not used to guarding an offensive player moving away from the rim, or even just across the court, and then he's up into that short jumper quickly. Especially if he sees a light crowd in this area once again, he'll capitalize on this chaos, get into the middle, and look for that high release jumper. His in-stride counters are also some of the toughest to guard, as most defenders are expecting at least a bit of a deceleration on a change of direction, but he's able to keep his speed going, which makes it tough to stay with. As well as the timing, as he changes direction off this first step with his inside foot, making it unpredictable and leaving them a step behind. And then the last one I'll mention in his attacking toolbox is this push-out dribble, which he'll use to keep the dribble alive through a gap defender stepping in, as he's basically pushing it out under their arm and bursting through the gap. And other times, he'll just use it as a way to get to space quicker, essentially throwing it out and then sprinting to it to catch up. Then once he's at the rim, it's all about unpredictability. This dude almost never takes a regular layup. There's always something unorthodox to keep defenders guessing. Sometimes he jumps super quick, like this one where he knows he has to get it off before the defender is set to jump, but other times it'll be very slow and even jumping backwards. He'll change his stride length consistently to throw off the timing and anticipation. And he uses the rim very well to protect, meaning that once he gets here, he can choose either side, but Chet essentially has to choose one or the other to go towards and commit to, so he sneaks it over this side of the rim with the inside hand. Then the same concept here. Now, of course, he's not always getting to the rim. He probably doesn't want to always get to the rim, and this is where that high release short jumper comes into play. We like to call these no man's land shots because you often have a nice advantage on your defender, and the help defender definitely isn't fully stepping up to you, so that area is huge if you can make these automatic. Plus, they're way more consistent shots, especially in high pressure situations, than longer mid-range, and they prevent you from having to go up with the trees every time. This high release is essential as well to control the power and of course get it over taller defenders, so it's something we work on. Second key to these short jumpers is that quick pogo that he's gotten really good at. Even with crazy forward momentum, he's able to hit the ground super explosively with a hop and elevate over defenders, which I don't think people realize how hard this is to do. He can even break his stride to quickly pop off the ground like this too, which takes even more coordination. But regardless of being able to score at a high rate with these short jumpers and even at the rim, it seems like he's not always trying to score, just create advantages for his team. He knows how much paint touches can do, and the best energy point guards like TJ are constantly looking to get to the paint or to the baseline, which as you can see completely changes the shape of the defense and opens up a ton for his teammates. And I'd argue he collapses the defense better than 90% of the NBA. It's insane.
TJ McConnell keeps fighting. Pass inside, Halliburton gets in the corner, lines it up. McConnell. Bryant gets it to go.
From there, he rarely holds on to it for too long and overly drives into gaps because by here, his job is already done. Other times though, if there's nothing there yet, he's then able to keep his dribble alive, keep the attack going, and wait until a defender does screw up and there's an opportunity. Or if he gets into trouble a bit too quickly, he'll get to 2 feet, which gives him more control to work with and capitalize on the collapsed defense. And I mean, this could be a video in itself too, but his off-ball game is nice. Many times he won't be the primary ball handler on a team, so to maximize his impact even without making a bunch of threes, he's gotten very good at finding the perfect times to cut, which in my opinion as a point guard should be easier because you actually understand the patterns from the ball handler's point of view, as well as attacking closeouts at a high level, which most times have a nice built-in momentum advantage, and he's looking to take advantage of this.
The Cavs, the Celtics, or the Knicks once this year. They're 0-9 combined.
So my question to you is this: what's stopping you from playing more like this? The hustle, the energy, the picking up full court. These are all things that we didn't even discuss and what really make him special, but these are 100% skills like everything else. So they're trainable things. It just takes focusing a bit less on what everyone else is doing and getting a bit unorthodox, taking care of the dirty work, and finding small advantages that are going to make you special. If you guys are looking for ways to develop this, our virtual academy has helped over 10,000 basketball players around the world develop their mind, their body, and their skills. So definitely go check that out through the link in the description. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in.